The release of Star Wars Battlefront is almost here, and in this video we take a look at 10 things you need to know about one of gaming's biggest titles of 2015. Number 1 is that there's going to be no gameplay from the prequel era from movies 1, 2, and 3. Only the original trilogy and future Star Wars movies will be showcased in the Star Wars Battlefront game. They may add content in the future via DLC covering the prequel era, but as far as when the game launches, there's going to be none of that at all. Number 2, this is Star Wars Battlefront, not Star Wars Battlefront 3. Many people are still very fond of 2005 Star Wars Battlefront 2 developed by Pandemic, but Star Wars Battlefront is not a sequel to that game. This is a complete reboot. Do not expect a Battlefront 3. This is a whole new series of games. While obviously there are going to be similarities between this Battlefront game and Battlefront 2, do not look at this game as Battlefront 3. It is not. Number 3 is something that disappointed a lot of people, and it's the fact that Star Wars Battlefront will have no space battles. All the gameplay in Star Wars Battlefront will be planet-based, and while that is unfortunate, hopefully DICE can nail the planet-based gameplay and in a future iteration of the series add space battles as well. Number 4, as the Stormtroopers, you can play as either a male or a female. So gender equality has been a big topic in games over the recent amount of years, and with that, EA and DICE have decided to let you play as either a male or a female while you're playing as the Stormtroopers in the multiplayer gameplay. Number 5, Star Wars Battlefront does have split screen on the consoles. These days in 2015, a lot of games are foregoing split screen gameplay. You saw that with a game like Halo 5. Halo 5 does not have any split screen. That is done to help maintain the consistent frame rate, but with Star Wars Battlefront, the game will have split screen mode. That's great to see because with Star Wars Battlefront 2, one of the best things about that game was the split screen and the party environment that game created, and you'll be able to do the same with the new Star Wars Battlefront title. Number 6, Star Wars Battlefront ships with 12 multiplayer maps, and if you pre-order the game, you also get the DLC Battle of Jakku, which adds 2 more maps. The game will also have an extensive amount of DLC released after the game's release, and that is expected to also add a bunch of new maps. So while the game is shipping with 12 maps, expect the game to end up with a lot more than that when all is said and done. Number 7, and arguably the most disappointing thing about Star Wars Battlefront, is that the game will feature no campaign at all. This was explained by EA when they said that a lot of people don't play campaign in games like this, but when they said that, that did also create a lot of controversy with gamers speaking up and saying that they did want a campaign from this game, but you will not be getting one. Instead, the missions in the multiplayer game will be there to mimic iconic Star Wars battles. So don't worry about this game not feeling like Star Wars. It's definitely gonna feel like a Star Wars game with the sound, the graphics, and the way DICE built this game. They had Star Wars in mind, of course. Number 8, Star Wars Battlefront's online multiplayer supports up to 40 players in one match. While 40 players isn't as much as Battlefield 4, which is also developed by DICE's 64 players multiplayer matches, it's still a respectable number to have in a game, and it definitely gives the matches in Star Wars Battlefront the Star Wars war feel. Number 9, the game will take place on 4 different planets: Salas, Endor, Hoth, and Tatooine. Like I said earlier in the video, if you pre-order the game, you get the DLC Battle of Jakku, which adds Jakku, so you could also expect that future DLC packs are going to add more planets, but that isn't 100% confirmed. And finally, number 10, Star Wars Battlefront is playable first on Xbox One with EA Access. Not a lot of people know about this, that Xbox One gamers get to play this game first if you sign up for EA Access. EA Access is EA's monthly subscription feature that PlayStation 4 does not have. It's $5 a month, and you get access to a catalog of EA's older titles, and you get early access to a lot of their games for 10 hours, and Star Wars Battlefront is one of those games. So while Star Wars Battlefront does launch on November 17th, you can put in 10 hours to the game on November 12th if you sign up for EA Access on Xbox One. So thank you for watching our top 10 things to know about Star Wars Battlefront. Are you excited about Star Wars Battlefront? Are you picking it up on day 1, or are you signing up for EA Access and gonna play on November 12th? Let us know in the comment section down below. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.